the first time that I took an edible, I took way too much of an edible.
Me too. I had a really bad experience.
And I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, are you feeling anything? No. All right, let's take some more. What's up? Welcome to the King's Experience. Got my man AB in the building, as always.
What's going on?
We got some special guests. We got Miss Satitra Singleton in the building, along with Miss Ashlyn Miller, the owners of Bold Behavior Flower.
Hello.
How y'all doing, ladies?
Yeah, welcome
Great.
to the show.
How are you?
Welcome.
Thank
We're
you.
great. We're great. You guys are a very unique duo, I would say. You guys, tell us a bit about yourself. Let's start there.
Well, I am actually born and raised here
Okay.
in
Nice.
Arizona. Yes, Scottsdale, Arizona. And I left for school, came back actually during COVID, and that's actually when, well, a few years after that. But that is kind of when the idea for Bold Behavior, our brand, our cannabis brand together, formed like last year, yeah. But it like kind of happened because of unexpected circumstances, honestly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the growth of Bold Experience after COVID, or a little bit after, like 2021-ish.
So we actually started last year in 2022, Bold
Gotcha,
Behavior,
okay,
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
But I guess like you asked me a little bit about myself. I moved away and then during COVID came back to Arizona.
Okay.
And then we
Kind of just
moved into this.
working together.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Miss Satitra?
Well, I am from Lansing, Michigan, born and raised. I moved from the Michigan Metro Rochester Hills area to Arizona last year to start with Bold Behavior with Ashlyn, and it's been really a great experience so far. We've faced challenges, but we've also made a lot of progress over the last year, and so we're doing really well right now.
How did you guys get into the aspect of just wanting to want to create a cannabis brand? Like,
Yeah, so that's actually like the funny part of it. So, my dad started and her uncle started a company in 2020, and they were starting wholesale. It's called LePay Farms, and started with wholesale flower and vapes for a lot of dispensaries around Arizona. And so when I moved back home, it was kind of obviously during COVID when things were really, really crazy. And before that, I was living in Los Angeles. And while I was there, I had stopped drinking and actually started cannabis.
Okay.
And it wasn't something that I had done as like a kid or like, not a kid, but like, you know, like people like get into it kind of early.
Yeah.
I was like, no, like like it was not something that, it was not about it. And then even in college, like I dabbled like sometimes, like, but it wasn't anything that, like wasn't, I don't know. Like I was more like into like just, I don't know, drinking and going out. Yeah.
Drink is more your choice of pleasure. Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel you.
And I actually was having a lot of like problems with like drinking, like health stuff, and it wasn't like I didn't know it was from drinking until afterwards. But like during that time, like I was like really tired. I had like horrible fatigue, a lot of other stuff that was just really kind of like so that's why I stopped drinking. And so I took up cannabis and I started with edibles, and honestly it was like one of the most life-changing decisions I've ever made in my life. And I was 22 years old at the time, I think 23, and I have since like started drinking like on special occasions, but so that was basically what got me into cannabis and like kind of being cannabis curious, you know.
Okay.
And so when the opportunity, I guess, like I was just like, my dad's doing it, and I saw an opportunity, and he was starting a brand with Uncle Son, and it's called Seaside. So I was like, oh, I kind of want to do the marketing. Like, can I just help? And that went on for like a year, and then Satitra came out.
We're like, we want to do a brand.
Yeah.
So we started the brands. Well, for me, in terms of how I got into cannabis personally, I've been enjoying the flower for about 20 years.
Okay.
I recently turned 40 this year. So,
there you go.
Right.
I've been
30's the
enjoying
new 40, you know what I'm saying? Shout out.
So I've been enjoying the flower since about 2021 area. And it really has helped me just get through a lot of life's hurdles, if you may, my master's program, parenting, just all of the aspects of life. I feel that it helps with those, challenges.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not a big drinker, so that is my choice. I will have a drink, but it definitely is my choice. So, I don't do as much of the alcohol, but it goes back to LePay and our founders. My uncle Hassan is a vet, Army vet, and so he was on opiates for years, and cannabis was another option for him, and now he's not on opiates.
Okay.
Same with her father.
Yes.
So
my dad is an ex-NFL player, or former NFL player, so NFL alum, and he also struggled with opiate abuse and from like prescribed usage of it with, the tear that like happens on the body, and that's where so it was very much a godsend, this plant cannabis, and so that was really what brought them together, and they really wanted to bring like this natural medicine flower to the people, and so it's their mission. And
nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. I could definitely relate with, I guess you could say your father, you know what I'm saying, with me being an ex-athlete and professional, whatever, and also training them as well. They also go more the holistic style of taking care of their bodies. Yes, they eat right, drink a lot of water, whatever, but when it comes to pain control, they definitely tend to, flower edibles, just because they want to stay away from that chemistry, and they're not fans of that chemistry, just mainly because it may put them in a whole nother state that
it takes a toll on your body.
It takes a toll, and it affects other organs.
Right.
And on your mind.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
What type of hurdles have you guys? So you've been doing bold behavior now for the last year, right? What type of hurdles have you guys had to overcome, being women, in the industry, black women in the industry, so you guys are kind of like knocking down some of the barriers, I would say, pioneering the way. What type of hurdles have you guys had to overcome?
Well, I think one of our missions, like one of the goals of bold behavior, is to destigmatize that negative view of cannabis use in the first place. So I think that's one of the hurdles, is just breaking down the walls that it has to be this grungy, lazy thing that you do and you can't be productive. And so that's been a hurdle, just getting people who aren't in the cannabis world to understand why it's so important, and how it can help people in different ways. So that is one of the main hurdles, is to get the people, sometimes, investors and just different people to kind of buy in.
It's we fortunately have had a lot of like grace in the process, and very, very like blessed and thankful for that, because it has been just an awesome journey. Honestly, like it's really been like the challenges that we have had, like we've gotten to like grow through, and so that's something that really thankful for. But yeah, as the teacher was saying, the stigma that's associated with cannabis is like, it's still there, and so when you're like saying, oh, like what do you do, it's kind of awkward sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, it is,
depending on
really candid.
who you're speaking to.
Oh wow.
I can see that.
That's why the word flower has become more popular, because some people are like carnations, and it's like, no.
You're like,
Carnations.
I've had someone asked me when I was talking in a social event, and I was like, the flower doesn't, something about the flower, and she's like, so do you sell what kind of flowers do you guys grow? And I thought she would know, but she didn't. And so just opening up in different groups of business women. Everyone it does not smoke. They do not partake, and they almost don't want to be associated with it depending on what they do. Yeah. And they might feel that it could harm them and their business if they're associated with it. So that can stem different ways.
It definitely does have that still has that negative stigma that's out there. That's, some people may think about, flower because it's associated with, like you said, being lazy, or, one side of the coin is, the lazy hippie, the lazy rebel or whatever. Another flip side of the coin is a rapper or, gangster advertising it every time they go somewhere, so those stigmas that's out there about flower is definitely out there. So I can see how it's hard to break those barriers. I think it will be more opening toward maybe the younger generation compared to like the old, even my age group or older, like they probably still had that shock of like, nah, they're not going to do it just because the way it was pursued back in the 70s and 80s compared to the way it looks like now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the war on drugs did like a lot of damage to the reputation of cannabis. And so like we really, really, like one of our other pillars is educating women and people on cannabis and safe use of cannabis. And it is truly, we really believe like through education, that's like one of the only ways, honestly, to destigmatize the flower, because once you know like what it can do and just how complex it is, like we as a industry right now are really focused on THC, the cannabinoid THC, and that's the psychoactive one that gets you high. There are plenty of other cannabinoids, and they offer like a plethora of just such amazing healing benefits. CBG, CBN, CBD, and these are all things that we're just now getting to, like we're on the breakthrough cutting edge of like these things because it is now legal. And when it becomes federally legal, I believe that exactly.
It's gonna really change.
Exactly.
It's gonna change. So we need to get ahead of it.
Right. And I was talking to a teacher downstairs earlier about the science behind it. I remember like you in school, and earlier on I was more of a drinker. And then over maybe the last 7 years or so, I started smoking more. But one thing I noticed with smoking is that nowadays you can really tailor how you want your high to be. And that's something that I don't think has ever been, with the science that's available now, ever been available to us to be able to say, if I smoke, I want to be energetic, I want to be productive, I want to be able to get shit done, and it allows you to do so versus being the hippie, the lazy hippie, so to speak.
You don't know what you're doing.
So you guys mentioned education. What does that look like when you guys are speaking at these events or talking to these people? What type of message do you guys convey?
Yeah, well, one, education on dosage, like just introduction to flower. Just right off the bat, I've heard so many people be like, I can't do edibles. I've had such a horrible experience. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, who made those? Like, who was like, what was the dosage? Like, you have no idea. But like, even just separate from, it's like, you don't know how much is in there. Like, if you're a beginner, you don't really only like 2.55 grams to get you really high. And just educating.
Or not only that, you don't want like a high THC level if you're a beginner. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're messing with THC level that's 20 and above, bro, your experience is going to be bad. I'm going to tell you that
really
right
bad.
now. Like, it's going to be
very anxious.
And just like you said, like you have to, like it's more tailored. So if I'm going to ask you, how do you want to feel?
Yeah.
And if they tell me I want to feel energetic, productive, this, that, and the other, well, maybe I'll show you more of a hyper sativa compared to your hyper indicas, because indica is going to put you out.
But you also have to be responsible too with it, because you guys made a very, very important aspect as far as dosage is concerned. Even with legal stuff, you have to be mindful of the dosage. The first time that I took an edible, I took way too much of an edible.
Me too. I
You
had
know,
a really bad experience.
And I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, are you feeling anything? No. All right, let's take some more. All right, you feeling anything?
Ricky
Nope.
was
All right, you gonna take I'm gonna take half. I'm gonna take half. You gonna take half. And the next thing
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
3 hours later, you waking up like,
On the roof.
oh my
Yeah.
God, like
Yeah.
I'm too high.
Yeah.
So you do have to be mindful of what you're putting into yourself. The same way if you were taking Tylenol, you take 32.
Exactly. I was just about to say, it's like with anything though. Like, you know, you're not going to drink a whole
You ain't gonna have
bottle.
no headache, man.
And I guess I'll also say, hey, if you're gonna
medication.
like explore with something like that, it may be hyped up to do it like in a social setting, but like if it's your first time, man, you might need to do it with somebody that you trust and know what you're
Yeah.
getting
Right.
yourself into. Because I remember my whole first experience with a dab, and it was bad. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I wasn't responsible because I'm doing it with people I rarely know. I'm hyped up and I want to go into it, not realizing in the next 30 minutes I'm the quiet brother in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm
Like, 'cause
saying?
you don't even know how to act with it.
Yeah, I should have, you know what I'm saying, maybe did this with somebody, or I guess after that experience, I should have did it with somebody I trusted or know, to know what I'm getting myself into instead of being that.
It's the hindsight, and then it is being able to wanting to educate yourself. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to this type of industry, a lot of people would prefer to remain ignorant to it as opposed to like, man, look, how much is 5 milligrams, you know, of an edible? Like, how high am I really going to get?
Yeah.
So that'll get you feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you have
don't
like
know,
a,
if your tolerance is low.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. If you
Yeah.
have like no tolerance of that, like it's like giving a person who has zero tolerance of a shot, and you give them a shot of some top grade tequila
some
or something,
151
bro.
or
Yeah, and they're
something.
gonna
Right, and they
be.
ain't no
Exactly.
food
Yeah.
or something. It's like you gotta
So,
eat a
I
good meal.
guess when I get into like the education with my athletes about it, it's more of you're dealing with something that's going to put you in a certain state, and your state may not be the same as Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg that's advertised on TV. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
Everybody's not gonna be.
Right.
this is
Yeah.
still a herbal, some type of medicated.
I think it's really important to be intentional with your use, you know, and that's like something that we're really passionate about sharing, like that, you know, intentional use is needed and, you know, like beneficial.
Yeah.
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 And then also with the education part, with like, you know, back in the 80s, 90s, or even like when it wasn't legal, you just like don't know what was in your flower. To
Right.
be completely honest. It was
Yeah.
not tested. It's not like you don't know which like strain, like you like
There's a lot of
yeah,
unknowns.
like what's mixed in it,
Yes.
pesticides, just like you have no idea, and those all affect your like how it smokes, your high, how it affects your body, like all of that. And now that it is legal,
It's
we have the
regulated.
testing. Like we're able to see, you know, make sure that everything's kosher and good, and that, you know, there's no
It's
pesticides,
safe.
it's no mold, like it's flour, and like
Right.
we know the terpenes and stuff that are in it, so we can say, yeah, this has this effect and this has this effect, you know.
Yes,
And the
that's-
process of getting to that is very extensive as well, because when you develop a strain, how many strains do you guys have as far as the bold behavior is concerned?
Well, it varies.
Yeah. So right now we have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But just for that one, it takes a lot of time and consistency to be able to make sure that the effects that you want from that is the same, so that
Yeah.
you can call it, you know, let's call it bold behavior A. You know, if one thing is off in that chemistry or in the science, then it's no longer bold behavior A. It's something totally different. You know, so it does take a lot of, like you said, the testing to make sure that it's the same every single time that you hit it, you know, or that you're with it. And the science behind it is very, very extensive.
Oh yeah.
How
Growth process.
close are you guys to that aspect of the business?
well, by no means we're not the scientists.
We're not the scientists.
But we work with a lab out in Tucson, but we're pretty involved in the process. Like we get to see all of the stuff, and yeah, it's pretty awesome actually. Yeah. And just by nature, I'm pretty curious. So I've read a lot of stuff on flower, and
understanding what we're selling, and that's like the testing of it is where it gets really involved too.
Right.
Making sure everything passes, everything is compliant with the state, from a labeling, making sure that it's childproof. Like it gets granular from that perspective.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even think you think about that aspect
I
of
didn't
it.
even think something like that.
I'm like the operations
Yeah,
side.
there's
is pretty
operations.
heavy. I'm over the operations side.
Yeah.
And Ashlyn is over our marketing.
Okay.
So we do operations and marketing for both the Seaside brand and for Bold Behavior.
Yeah.
But Bold Behavior is our baby. That's where the difference is. But
Okay.
we are a family-owned business, so we represent both of the brands. And so we do the operations. It gets very granular. When you talk about just the testing of it, making sure that it passes testing, like I was saying, and just making sure everything is compliant with the state. So
How often do you guys get when it comes to the testing? Do you have to resubmit? How often does that have to happen? Or
not often.
Yeah, just after harvest.
Okay.
Yeah.
They test it right away, and then that test will follow it. And then you can have it retested if you want to, like if time has passed and you just feel like it. But normally it moves pretty quickly. You wouldn't want to. You don't need to retest it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. This is so exciting, man. I know you guys are excited in itself just because, like you said, it's your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what's the next step for you guys from where we are right now? How many dispensaries are you guys in? What's the goal for this year? We're coming into the second quarter second quarter of the year. Third quarter. I'm sorry.
Quarter, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Quarter.
So next.
That's the third quarter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Quick.
So end of third quarter, August, we're planning. We have new products coming out, which we're very excited about.
Okay.
Those are our gummies and 2 more strains of flower.
Okay.
So how we do our flower, just off of like the nature of it being a plant and I guess not available, like growth cycles.
It varies
Exactly.
through seasons.
Yeah.
So we'll always have like a hybrid strain in our hybrid bag, an indica strain in our indica bag, and a sativa strain in our sativa bag. And then for our gummies, we're coming out with those as well in August, and they are 5 milligram dosage, like as we just talked about.
Gotcha.
Nice. Very excited.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's awesome. So you guys got the gummies coming out at the end of August.
Beginning of August, yeah.
All right, so that's my birth month, so that'd be perfect.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you got 2 more strains coming out. That's going to be in August as well.
Yes.
2 more strains on top of the strains the 1 strain that you guys got now.
Yeah.
So it'd be 3 strains.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
How many dispensaries are you guys in right now?
Well, Bold Behavior's in 5 dispensaries.
Okay.
Okay.
So currently we're in 5 dispensaries, Soul Flower dispensaries. They do have 5 locations, and so we will be in more abundance in August. Right now we're just transitioning. So if you do visit Soul, you'll see us displayed. There should have some still there, but we are transitioning with the product.
Okay.
So that how that goes. But we are in Soul Flower. So yeah.
Soul Flower. Soul Flower. Check it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Check it out. Soul
Yes.
Flower.
And then our other brand, Seaside, is in Cure Leaf and The Good. And Soul Flower, too.
And
yeah.
so,
Yeah.
okay.
And those are in dispensaries only in Arizona or only in
Yes.
Phoenix?
Yeah, only in Arizona. Yeah,
Yeah, only
as
in
of
Arizona.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What's the plan moving forward? Obviously, you mentioned from Michigan. It's legal in Michigan now.
Yeah. Well, Michigan was legal before Arizona, I believe, from a recreational perspective. But obviously, we want to expand as time progresses. But multi-state operations is definitely a goal down the line.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How many people do you guys employ?
About 10 of
Right now, we're a really small group. We're still a startup.
Okay.
You would say, about like,
less than 10.
yeah.
Is it all women?
Mostly women.
Mostly
not
women.
all women.
Not
Yeah.
all. but
Nice.
Mostly.
Okay.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Are they all mostly people of color or?
Yeah.
Mostly people of color.
We
Yes,
do
yeah.
have a couple other.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of us are.
There
Okay.
you go. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
It's
That's
a mix.
awesome.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So you guys started off with your father and your uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have always kind of known each other, if that's the case.
No,
We actually met last year.
Really?
Really?
They've
Yeah.
known each other. My uncle and her dad have known each other for some years. But yeah, no, we just met.
Yeah.
Really?
Like you're literally just like kind of put together like
Yeah.
And I was
it's
like,
worked
okay.
perfect, and it's been like perfect since then.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That's what's up. That's
And like
what's
she
up.
said, we've actually gotten a lot of great feedback, and the industry is loving it. You know,
yeah,
like
it's been really awesome.
yeah, like it's really been awesome, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we are females. You
Yeah.
know, we're bringing something different to the industry.
And it's an elegant packaging.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Thank you.
Thanks.
it does stand out. The bold behaviors cater more towards the women, correct? From
Yeah.
at least from the
Yes.
packaging
Yes.
is concerned.
Yes.
Yes.
And is that more so that's the marketing aspect clearly?
Yeah. So we believe it's important to market to women because of the stigma associated with cannabis and women. Yeah, because when I first started, just as like, you know, coming out saying, "Oh, I use cannabis," it was kind of tough until like there was someone else that was like, "Oh my gosh,
I do
same,
too."
I do too."
Yeah.
And then like you're in like this community of women, amazing women, like
Yeah.
also that are just like the most high achieving, incredible people who also use cannabis, and it's like, oh wow, why was I living in shame for so long, or like feeling like
Less than. Because,
yeah, and it for no reason actually, like, and so yeah, so that's why like we're here for women, we're here for the ladies.
That's what's up, man.
And we encourage
I know.
you men
I know a lot
to
of women.
purchase.
I wouldn't say a lot, but I know, you know, women that smoke or whatever, or that use, you know, flower edibles, but you would not know it unless you're doing it with them. Yeah, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep it on the low. Not saying, you know, males do too, but
Yeah,
y'all women, man, y'all keep that on the super low.
Keep it
low.
super tight to your
Yeah.
chin.
yeah. But it's like it's so colloquial, the term wine mom. Like everyone always uses the term wine mom, you know. That's like a real thing. Like there's cups all the way everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like
And it's
okay,
welcome and okay.
yeah,
If you
Yeah.
are a mom who smokes cannabis, or it's like, oh, she smokes cannabis, but it's like, but you just had a bottle of wine.
yeah,
Yeah,
And it's not to
yeah.
shame anybody
It's
that's
not to
drinking.
shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
just
we don't want to shame. We just want to say that this is another option.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that they're not much different,
Yeah.
you know, in
and
terms
being
of.
that this is so newly, you know, regulated in the sense of, you know, approved by state governments and hopefully soon federally, so we can fly with it,
Right.
you know, at some point in time. But I think that's the biggest, you know, misconception, is because alcohol has been around since, I guess, prohibition ended. You know, it's more acceptable to have a whole case of wine if you want to, you know, versus smoking your little J. So it'll come around. But you
It
guys
will.
are like right at the forefront of it, which is dope. So, like I said, you're pioneering the way.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who wants to kind of follow in your footsteps, you know, or be a part of something like this that sees the benefits and sees the growth aspect of, you know, cannabis and black women in cannabis? How would you guys approach that type of conversation?
I would say, I guess, keep going. Like, kudos to you for wanting to be in this space. It's an incredible space, and don't give up. Like really,
Don't
like
give
that's
up.
like don't give up.
Just do it. Like, be bold.
Yeah, be bold.
Have a bold behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Towards
right?
Be,
Have
be
a
on your
bold
bold behavior,
There you
because
go.
Yes.
you really do have to stand up and be pretty strong in this industry.
You do.
Yeah.
You
and
really
just go
do.
for what you know and what you want.
Do you guys mentor anyone like that? Has anyone asked to say, hey, you know, I like...
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
No, not yet.
Would you be open to that?
Yeah, I mean, just to have the conversation about business ownership, you mean?
Business
Or
ownership, or just,
cannabis
hey,
in
I
general?
want to see how you
Business
guys do this. You know, or take me under your wing. I want to I want to be like you guys. You know, I want to help be pioneers in the way.
I would have that
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
Like, for instance, I went to a networking event, that one from last week, and there were other business owners in the room. One of the women in the room, she had no website. She has a great business and she has an awesome skill, but she doesn't know where to start. And the internet and Google can be overwhelming. So just aside from cannabis and aside from even woman-owned, it just being a business owner in of itself can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
When you have to do a business plan and you have all of marketing and all of these things. So talking to us could help just minimize some of the overwhelming parts of business ownership and say, okay, you need a .com, you need an Instagram, you know, the basic things, and then how to stay productive within growing as a small business, because that's also something that you need to, you know, and a lot of people won't get started. They just won't because it's so overwhelming.
Yeah. We definitely would be open to it, But.
You said you was on a radio station. You guys want to mention about that?
Oh, it was like in Chicago, right?
Oh, it was in Chicago.
Oh,
okay.
we did do a local, So.
How's this journey been for you guys?
Yeah, how has
that's the question.
Chicago,
like, how has the journey really been over the last year for you?
The Chicago was more so just talking about our possible CBD ointment that we were gonna
we're still
we're just kind of for LePay and just kind of touching on us as a Black-owned business was really the highlight for that. And then recently we did like a local Arizona radio station as well for small business owners. So we're slowly growing. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. It has. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of cannabis organizations and different events that go on. So we're usually at like the META events or just our presence. We're trying to make sure that we have a presence.
Are these local events?
Okay. So right now we're trying to just stay local and really grind in our community, Arizona or Phoenix and Scottsdale area, and so
the greater Phoenix area.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest part so far?
I think it's like the same for like any business, but like working with your capital. I think just that. But we make it work. But that's honestly the hardest part.
Yeah, pivoting.
Yeah.
And like, figuring out, well, we can't do this right now. What do you want to do? Like,
but not stopping the process.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, that pivot is major because you're going to have roadblocks.
Exactly.
And it's like, you can't just stop at the roadblock. You got to keep moving.
Right.
And whatever, that might not be the plan. So then you have to redo the plan. And it's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Exactly. As long as the train keeps moving.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
As long as the train keeps moving. What's been the most fun part?
All the marketing for me has been fun. The photo shoots, the girliness.
Really, that's what's up.
All the pink and the that's been my favorite part. And just bringing the classiness that I am to the industry and being able to be an owner within this, and it's like this like childhood, like, oh my god, I'm gonna like, this is like something that I am creating for another me, in terms of me being, because like I am bougie. Okay, like I like nice with that.
There's
things.
bougies and they're bourgeois.
You see what I'm saying? I like very nice things. I want to. I want the diamonds, and I want it to be nice, and I want to smoke on glass, and everything is super cute and dainty, and it's not grungy. So I like that.
Yeah, you like that classy, bougie, bourgeois. Hey, I'm all for it. Pinkies up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you.
I think my favorite part has been like the process of like seeing something in your brain and like the product, like like it really, like we had this idea, and like seeing it and just working on it, and then like having the bag, and I remember in my hand for the first time I just was like, oh my gosh, like that feeling was just absolutely incredible. And then going to events and handing it out and people being like, oh my gosh, like we love it, like it's beautiful, like it's just awesome. That like I think the product development and creation part of it has been my favorite, like just being able to create something, you know, fully.
So you're responsible for the
an idea.
packaging? Is that or is that a collaborative?
It's collaborative.
Yeah, it was collaborative.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it was very collaborative.
Yeah.
That's amazing. From like last year till now, it's wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we were doing mood boards, and then the mood board would switch to, you know, it just grew.
Yeah,
'cause
like-
you have to start small and then
Right.
it grows.
Yeah.
Right.
And of
So-
course, like you go through a bunch of different things before you get that. And even with that, like that's soon going to be our old packaging. Like we're going to have like new stuff coming out soon, which I'm so excited about. And, you know, like, yeah, so sending the mood boards to the designer and like they send you something back and you're like, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
And I
And
guess
then you're
like
up
that
against
whole
the time,
process.
and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, we gotta move a different way.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
It's, you know,
this
it's
stuff,
a,
add that. Yeah, it's been fun.
How did it feel when you first walked into the dispensary and actually saw your packaging in there? What was that feeling like?
oh, incredible. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
and then what was even cooler too was like asking the bud tender, like, like how have you smoked this? Like how is it? And he's like, oh, I love it. It's you know it smokes so well, and I'm just like, yay.
Yeah.
That's got to be that's got to be a
Yeah.
dope feeling. I would say that might be the high of your guys' journey so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that
That's
first
pretty
time
cool.
and hearing everybody have the raving reviews of it. I can't wait to smoke it. So
I know, right? I can't wait to try it. See what it's all about.
that's gonna be
Excited.
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any or I mean right now you're doing the flower, you have the gummies coming out in August. Anything as far as like grinders or things of that sort?
Accessories.
Accessories.
Yes,
Yes.
we are working on it.
Okay.
We're definitely
Yeah.
working on other products.
We definitely want to get like merch out because we're super excited about the stuff that we have been, ideating on and creating, and because of the nature of those products, we can sell them everywhere,
Right.
nationwide. So,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that too. I like a good bowl,
yeah.
a nice elegant bowl.
I'm trying
Yes.
to see
That'd be
what
dope.
the T-shirt may look like or something. A bougie T-shirt or something. I like, so I would wear a T-shirt, but I don't know, man. Like,
Well, we
I
we actually do have like our stock T-shirts.
Yeah,
that
they're
have
sleek.
Bold behavior with the diamond because it can go either way. And so I was just gonna say, men can also purchase bold behavior.
Exactly. I was just literally on saying like,
Yes.
wait,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we cater to women, but we also want everyone to enjoy.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
unisex for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's a unisex.
your target
yes,
audience
but-
is
Yes.
for sure the ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's
That's
up.
awesome.
That's what's up.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate you guys stopping by, joining us on the couch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thanks
I
for
learned a
having
lot.
us.
Yeah,
I
Absolutely.
love you guys'
This-
product, and I enjoyed it. Shoot, like Jill said, I can't wait to smoke it now.
Yeah. These are
Thank
edibles,
you.
right?
Yes, those are the edibles. Those are gummies. You'll get the pineapple and the guava
Yeah,
in there. The pineapple are a little spicy.
yeah. It's pineapple fire.
Yeah.
So pineapple fire is the yellow. So it's
It's spicy.
What's the milligrams on these?
5.
Those are 5.
Yeah.
Okay, they're all 5 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
See, the dosage. Dosage is important.
Those are just major.
That's awesome. We got Mr. Tetra Singleton in the building, and then Miss Ashlyn Miller from Bold Behavior.
Thank you guys.
Yes,
Thank you
thank you.
guys.
This is awesome.
Before you guys leave, tell us where we can find you, events, social media accounts or whatever. Yeah, where you guys, what's your Socialgram? What's your Instagram?
Yes, Instagram is Bold Behavior Flower. Our website is www.boldbehaviorflower.com, and you can find all of our information there, events. Follow our Instagram. We post everything there. Yeah.
August.
August, new merch.
Yep, new merch.
I'll
Get
be in
it.
New products.
Yes.
I'll be in sold.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see y'all next time.
Holla.